Hey, it's the big guy here. We're going to do two reviews in one video here so I can try to catch up on some movies that I haven't reviewed from 2014 yet. One is called What If? This is a romantic comedy I rented and I want to give my thoughts about it. This is directed by Michael Dowse and stars Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter as Wallace, and Zoe Kazan from the movie Ruby Sparks, which I highly recommend. Great romantic movie, as Chantry. And basically, this movie has Daniel Radcliffe's character Wallace being very cynical about love. He obviously just broke up with somebody and he meets this very beautiful woman played by Zoe Kazan, Chantry. Unique name for a woman to have. Not very many women named Chantry. And he finds out that this woman that he's attracted to is in a relationship with a guy named Ben, played by Ray Spall. She has a boyfriend already. So he decides he'll be friends with her. The old question is, can a guy that is attracted to a woman actually be friends to her while she's in a relationship? Can this actually work? And this is actually a very good movie. I did like this movie. Zoe Kazan and Daniel Radcliffe have great chemistry together. They really are very well together, and I did like the scenes they had together. Adam Driver's in the movie as Zoe Kazan's cousin. He's great as well. Ray Spall is pretty good in the movie. And there were some pretty good scenes in this movie. There is a scene where Daniel Radcliffe is at a movie theater watching The Princess Bride, which is one of my favorite romantic films of all time. And Zoe Kazan happens to be the same theater, coincidentally. And just for the fact of that The Princess Bride is referenced in this movie is a reason alone to go see this. The negatives about this movie, and yeah, this movie does have some negatives. Obviously, it's predictable. You obviously know what's going to happen at the end, which is not entirely a bad thing with that. But the main bad thing about this movie is that some of the scenes in this movie are a little bit unrealistic for the idea that this is a woman that is subconsciously in love with this guy and she doesn't realize it. And the scenes they have together are a little bit unrealistic that a woman would have with a guy that she considers as a friend but is subconsciously in love with him. Like there's a scene they have at the beach together that I thought was a little bit unrealistic. I don't know if the scene you see in the trailer at the clothing store would be considered unrealistic. It's debatable, but the beach scene I think is unrealistic. Aside from that, this is a very good movie. I'm going to give this movie a B. Definitely check this movie out, and we're going to talk about the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Enemy, next. Enemy is directed by Denis Villeneuve. Forgive me, I'm an American trying to pronounce a French name that is... It's hard for me to pronounce this name. It's the same director that directed Prisoners, which is one of my favorite films from 2013. So when I heard about this movie, I really was anxious to see it. Unfortunately, I don't believe it came to my area as far as the two theaters in my area are concerned. So when it came out on Blu-ray, I really wanted to see it, and I finally was able to see it. And this is a really good psychological thriller. It's not a science fiction movie despite the last shot in the film. It's a psychological thriller. It's one of these movies that makes you think. You may have to watch it a couple times to come to the conclusion of what's going on in this movie. Basically, the plot is Jake Gyllenhaal plays a college professor and an actor in the movie. He plays two people in this film. One is named Adam, the other one's named Anthony. I forget which one is Adam, which one is Anthony, so basically I'll just say the teacher and the actor. Basically, the teacher is told by someone he meets to go watch this movie since he doesn't watch movies very much. And he watches this movie and he sees this actor in the film that looks strangely like him, almost like he is his twin brother. And he meets this guy and finds out that they could be twins. They look identical, but they have different lives. The actor wears very expensive clothing and likes blueberries, but the teacher doesn't. He wears very mundane clothing and he doesn't like blueberries. The actor is married and they're pregnant, but the teacher is in a relationship and not married yet. And the two women in the movie, Sarah Gavon plays Helen, the wife to the actor, while Melanie Laurent plays the girlfriend in the movie that is dating the teacher. And this is a very good movie. I did like this movie. I didn't realize what was going on until watching a spoiler review online in order to figure out what was going on. I would have to watch the movie over and over again to realize this conclusion, but it is a good movie, and you would have to watch this movie over and over again to understand what is going on. You're not going to get it the first time, and this movie has some very weird imagery involving spiders, which that is done very well, and just a lot of things are done very well about this movie. This is a very good movie that will make you think, and you really gotta watch everything around this movie as well as what's going on in order to understand what's going on with this movie. So overall, I'm going to give this movie an A. Definitely check this movie out. This is definitely one of the best films I've seen for 2014. And that's all I got to say about Enemy.